Alright. Side quests. I've already picked up the beginner and the intermediate for this dude. So let's finish this off now. Hunting the Hunter. Bol Ogao is impressed with your progress. Evray, it's good to see you safe. The whole city's been on a knife edge since the attack. Folk need hunters like you and me to deal with the dangers they're facing more than ever. Like you and me, and like Nepikwe. Viper by trade. Always helping out with the hunts. She took a bill from the board a few days back. Thing is, it was for a markup in Yasulani, and no one's seen her since. Might be that she's still on its trail, but hearing about everything that's happening up there, all this about the dome, I can't help but worry. Little bird tells me you've been inside it. You couldn't ask around in there, could you? Find out if anyone's seen her? Thank you. It means a lot to me. Last anyone heard from her, she was on her way to Teshpiani. Maybe someone in the village will have seen her, if there's anyone left. Nepikwe was making her way to Teshpiani last anyone heard from her. Might still have been there when the dome fell over it. If you're heading back in, I'd appreciate it if you could ask if anyone's seen her. I didn't think these quests were going to take me outside of Tuliyollal, but here we are. Somenike. Good morning to you. Anything I can help you with? Nepikwe? Yes, I know her well. She's something of a hero around these parts. Our guardian angel. She'd just arrived when the tremor struck, on the trail of some beast or other. Can't remember the details now, but I do remember that when the ground started shaking and levin filled the air, it was she who guided us all to safety. Braved the bolts to drive back the beasts that were tearing up our farmsteads. Where is she now, I wonder? Last I heard, she'd registered with the hunters, but that was years back. She'd probably be retired now, or... No, she's still with us. She has to be. I wouldn't remember her if she wasn't. You should go and ask the facilitators at Resolution, up in Solution 9. They keep a record of every citizen's location. Tell them you're looking for an old friend, and they'll put you in contact. Either Nepikwe's still with us, or something's seriously wrong with my regulator. You should head up to the government sector. The facilitators there should be able to track her down for you. Creepy. Government sector. Centerlink. Philomena. Welcome to the government sector. How may I be of service? You're a friend of Nepikwe's? One of many, I'm sure. Such an amiable soul. And such a shame about that injury forcing her from the field. But what a career. I should think the better parts of our data on the local fauna was collected by her and her followers. Followers who adore her to this day. I believe she was the one who introduced the idea of fighting with twin blades too. And look how that's taken off. Sharing citizens' personal information is strictly forbidden, as a rule. However, Nepikwe left specific instructions that if any fellow Turali should come calling, we should send them directly to her. And so I shall. Her registered domicile is in residential radius 9 through 14. Ever since her retirement, she spends most of her days sitting in the plaza, watching the world go by. Let me know if you have trouble finding her, but if you do, please pass on my best wishes. Napique has always been one to watch over her charges, whether it's the hunters she's trained to wield the dual blades, or the innocents she's labored to protect from savage beasts. Nowadays you'll find her in the plaza of residential radius 9 through 14, keeping her watchful eyes on the world. There she is. Napique, you're a hunter, aren't you? Heh. You've got the gait, the eye. You can see it a mile off. Bol Ogal? Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Well, you go tell him I'm as safe and well as I've ever been. Sure, it was a shock when the barrier fell, but what kind of viper would I be if I didn't try to make the best of a bad situation? I joined the hunters, put my talents to use keeping this place safe. Till 10 years ago, that is, when my good hand finally gave out on me. Had to leave the front lines. Thought I was done for good, to be honest. But then Her Majesty came to me, gave me a new mission, cataloguing the beasts I no longer had the strength to kill. Gave me a new lease on life. Say, now that the barrier's broken, is Bol Ogal thinking of bringing the Dawn Hunt back to Yasuilani? If he is, then could you give him this? Tell him that I'm still here, that for 30 years I kept my vow. When you see Bol Ogal, tell him I didn't die, and that he shouldn't either. Okay. Pique's notebook, a comprehensive bestiary of the horrors that haunt heritage found. Bestiary, not bestiary. Bol Ogal. Good to see you back, Evray. Well, any news on Napique? Here's her notebook. She still lives then. And it seems all this insanity with the dome hasn't dulled her passion for the hunt any. The notebook makes proof of that. 30 years of work. 30 years. I can't get my head around it. I can count the hours since I last spoke with her. Yet it's a wonder she can remember me at all. Still, I'm grateful she does. And if she needs my help hunting down some of these beasts, that's exactly what I'll give her. I'll go through this book and draw up bills for the nastiest critters in it. Bring the Dawn Hunt back to Yasuilani, or whatever it is they call that place now. Guess it'll be a while before folk can make their way past that barrier freely, so I'll be counting on you and yours to take the lead. But looking at some of these entries, there's a fair few fiends up there that are tougher than anything I've let you go after before. I'll see you're approved to take on advanced marks. Thanks, my friend, and good hunting. Another one? Oh, for the weekly one. The hunt goes on. Bologor has something to tell you. Ah, Evre, you honor me with your presence. I've heard all about the deeds you've been doing for Wuklamat. As if ending Valigarmanda's rampage wasn't impressive enough, you saved the city from those mechanical beggars too. If there were ever any doubts about your abilities, they're well and truly answered. Which is why I'd like to ask your aid one last time. Will you join us in our most essential duty, seeking out and slaying those fiends most foul, those that pose the gravest dangers to our people? You're a hero through and through. Hunting down marks like these is the very purpose the Vipers were founded for. And it's no easy task, I can tell you. There are horrors out there. True horrors. Tural Vidral like Valigarmanda. Creatures more akin to gods than beasts. We Vipers wander far and wide across the land that we might learn of these creatures and one day end them. You remember Tiat Cat? She's been doing just that for decades now, and has come away with a long list of targets. If you're interested in finding out more about them, go and see her in Yaktel. Napique was doing the same when she went to Yasulani, and yet there's nothing you could call a Tural Vidral in her journal. Strange, I thought, when they've shown up nigh everywhere else. Makes me wonder if she mightn't have left them out on purpose. Napique is a viper to the quick, you see. Nothing matters to her more than the people's safety. Separated from her fellow vipers as she was, perhaps she thought it best to leave such nightmares well alone. Forgive me for asking so much of you, but if you plan to return to Yasulani anytime soon, could you speak with her again? See if there's something she's not telling us. Something we might be able to help her with. Oh, and tell her one more thing for me. Or one more thing from me. That if she wants to come back, me and the rest of the Vipers stand ready to welcome her with open arms. Napique has been fighting for the people inside that dome for decades. The Vipers are proud to call her our sister, and if she wants to come home, we'll give her the welcome of a lifetime. Okay, back to solution 9. Pique. Ah, the hunter from across the water. What message do you have for me today? Bologar, you sentimental fool. I thank him for remembering me, but this is my home now. These people. My people. I've lived here, fought here, for the better part of my life. Stepping beyond that wall would be like stepping 30 years into the past. And while I've fond memories of the place, I'm an old woman now. I've grown unused to change. Not to mention that. Lady Napique! Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you had company. Napique, it's alright. He's a friend of the cause. Let me introduce you. Lone Yine. Oh, God, these names. Lone Yine Rinuri, meet Evray, the hunter from beyond the wall. Evray, these are... what would you call yourselves? My little helpers? Lone Yine. Protégés, more like. Lone Yine, at your service. I studied the twin blades under Lady Napique, and I've been helping her conduct her census on the beasts of Alexandria. And I'm Rinuri. I've been working behind the scenes with Oblivion, so I've heard a lot about you and your exploits. Even seen a few firsthand, albeit from the shadows. After you brought peace to living memory, our team secured what we could from the databanks. Found a fair few things that brought a glint to Lady Napique's eye, I can tell you. Napique, Tural Vidral, Evray. Bologar knew it. Doesn't do to draw too much attention to those fiends you haven't the strength to slay. From what Rinuri tells me of your achievements, though, I shouldn't wonder if you and yours could succeed where we could not. Queen's Fiend charged me with chronicling her kingdom's fauna, and I expect there are many discoveries still to be made in its darkest corners. If you want to learn more, just ask these two. Rinuri, please, ask away. Lone Yine spends most of his time down in the outskirts, but I'll be here. Napique, as shall I. My duty is far from over. So in answer to Bologar's question, no, I will not be returning to Tuliyollal. But please let him know that I appreciate his kind words, and that I'm only too happy to extend him the same offer. Ah, bloody messenger boy. Ogo. Welcome back, Evray. Did you speak with Napique? Yeah. I see. It's good to know she has friends. I couldn't bear to think of her all alone up there. A viper lives to hunt, that others might live to hunt another day. Or so the saying goes. Sounds like she's taken that message to heart, taken it upon herself to train a new generation. And it looks like you're her latest pupil. May luck be with you, Evray. And remember, whatever you do, don't get yourself killed. Sound advice. Words to live by. Elite Dawn Hunts, now accessible. Hey, nice. To hunt is to live, and to live is to hunt. But your life is worth more than any mark, Evray. Always remember that. Sure. 100 sack of nuts. Nuts, huh? Alright, cool. 1 out of a dozen? 15? Ooh, let's go do this easy one. Though it wasn't easy to get it to this stage, that's for sure. Took a lot of fates. Kajilja, gemstone trader. Welcome, welcome. Feast your eyes on the finest goods from every corner of Tuliyollal. All this can be yours, so long as you have bicolor gemstones. Easy. Oh yeah. Oh, they sell everything. You don't have to go to... Cool. Saves you the travel. Damn. These are expensive. Well, something towards which I can grind. Okay, what's next? I think let's start by the docks, which is where you begin the expansion. This sounds like an easy quest of crates and correspondence. Zibilja. It's got to be here somewhere. Of crates and correspondence, the dutiful deckhand's problems are twofold. Waylaid cargo and one very concerned mother. Has to be Disciple of Warland, right? I mean, War Magic. Yeah. Oh well, wasted EXP is fine. Dutiful deckhand. Look, Zibilja, I know you're waiting on a letter from your son, but I'm just asking that you cut me a little slack. True enough, we picked up a letter from your son back in Eorzea, but with all that Eve over here in the city, our cargo ended up all over the place. Until we take stock of things, there's no telling where it might be. Zibilja. Oh, I see. Well, please do come and find me if that letter turns up. I live over in the Resplendent Quarter. Beautiful deckhand. Am I right in thinking you're an adventurer from Eorzea? Apologies about all that just now. I tell you, never thought I'd end up running into so much trouble right after dropping anchor. Say, reckon you could help me fetch in the last few supply crates that got waylaid in all the trouble? I tell ya, I'd rather say it straight into an howling gale than see a mother fretting over her son like that. You help gather the crates, I can get to searching for that letter. Alright. So how about helping me to fetch in those last few crates? Then I can start searching for that lady's letter. I just can't bear the thought of her fretting over that son of hers. Alright. Easy to do. Gameplay. Where's the third one? Oops. Dutiful deckhand. Looks like all me crates are present and accounted for. Much obliged. Right, I've got myself a letter to find. Scattered supply crates. One of several wooden crates waylaid during the attack on Tuliyollal. Faintly damp and salt encrusted. Here you go. Zibilja, was it? I'll never find this bleeding letter. Oh, hold on. What's this here? Never thought I'd find the damn thing so quick. She said she lived in the Resplendent Quarter, didn't she? I hate to ask, but would you mind taking this letter to Zibilja for me? The way my luck's been going since arriving, I never thought I'd find the letter so bleeding quick. Anyway, I'd be much obliged if you'd deliver that there letter to Zibilja in the Resplendent Quarter. Why don't I just do your whole job for you, man? Oh wait, I already am. Oops. Oops. I bring news of your son. Zibilja. Oh, you're that fellow from earlier, yes? Letter to Zibilja. Zibilja. A letter penned by a good-natured son residing in lands afar. Here you go. Zibilja, you found it? This came all the way from my son, Tuliyollal, in Eorzea. What's he doing so far from home? I'm glad it was found. Tuliyollal? What's he doing so far from home? My son became acquainted with an Eorzean mage who was visiting Tural. They ended up traveling back to Eorzea together. Apparently, they wanted to promote the blue magic techniques they'd learned from the Wallaki, some such. The Tuliyoll's always been very good about keeping in touch, but with everything that's happened of late, I couldn't help but assume the worst. You can't imagine what a relief it was laying eyes on that letter just now. I do hope he's eating well, though. Wonder if they have cornbread in Eorzea. It's always been his favorite. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like a moment alone to read my son's letter. Please give my thanks to the deckhand. I know that guy. He's one of the Mamulja that sells you books and stuff, I think. Back in Ul'dah. Dutiful deckhand, you get that letter over to Zibilja, did you? Like I said, you hate to see someone worrying for their loved ones. Glad we put her mind at ease. Most Mamulja that head for Eorzea end up as mercenaries. Imagine there's a fair few who set sail and never get word back home. Seems like old Zibilja's son was a decent lad, though. I tell you, all this has got me pining for me family. Left them back in Limsey, you see. Not that there's time for dilly-dallying. Not when there's war once doing. Thanks for your help, adventurer. Okay. Nice. Let's do culinary import next. Inattentive culinarian. The inattentive culinarian dearly hopes his international delivery hasn't been lost at sea. Tacos. You were on the ship that pulled into port just now, were you not? I have a favor to ask. Yes, that was me, like 2 or 3 months ago. I'm expecting a shipment addressed to Auntie's Tacos, but I fear it may have been unloaded on the southern pier by mistake. I'd be ever so grateful if you could speak with your crew for me. I need to be getting back to open the shop, but if you do manage to find it, please bring it over. I'll see to it you're paid for the delivery, I promise. Okay. It's easy enough. Diligent deckhand. A shipment from Auntie's. Got it right here, of course. Not sure what you were told, but all imports from Eorzea are unloaded on this side. That culinarian makes some great tacos, but I'll be damned if he can pay attention to half the words I say to him. His order's packed and ready in that crate there, but bugger me if it ain't heavy. Right, that's the crate for Auntie's. It's not far from here if you don't mind carrying it over. Gameplay 2024. Wow, look how much my lance jiggles. It's probably just the fact that my torso is so rigid, more than anything. Here you are. Inattentive culinarian. You found it. Thank the gods. I don't know what I would have done had my cookbooks been left on the dock back in Limsa Lamensa. What luck that I could flag down such a hospitable deckhand. Wait, what do you mean you're not part of the crew? I thought you came into port with my books. Our taco stand gets a lot of tourists, so I thought I'd import some cookbooks from your culinary capital and brush up on foreign food culture. Who knows, one of these days I might just invent an Eorzean style taco. Anyway, my apologies for the misunderstanding. As payment, take these freshly made tacos. On the house. Goodbye. Tacos. Okay. Corn of necessity. What the? Curious corn. Oh, I don't know, it's got a picture. I think I'll leave this one till later. I feel like it might be a special quest. Cutscenes and all. And a chain quest or something. Save it for last. Ish. Ferocious beasts on foreign shores. The determined naturalist has a small, furry problem for you to solve. Well, I never. To think I'd run into you in Tuliyollal of all places. I'm from the Studium's Faculty of Biology. I've seen you before. Back in Old Charlian. Ah, that reminds me. You'll have to forgive the impertinence, but there just so happens to be a matter I could use your help with. I'm researching Turali ecosystems, and I'm currently on the hunt for one creature in particular. In truth, I'd barely set foot on land before I made my discovery. Alas, as I was trying to secure the specimen for study, it's got away from me. It has a somewhat peculiar cry, to say the least. The creature itself is covered in tawny brown fur and is rather small in stature. The strangest thing is, I asked some of the locals whether they had heard of such an animal, and they seemed quite baffled. You don't happen to know of the creature I speak of, do you? I daren't speak of such a vicious beast. Sounds like a giant beaver to me. I'm just as baffled as the locals. Never heard of such a creature. Squeal! Squeal! Squeal, squeal. Best option. Aha! You mean to discern the animal's habitats and mannerisms by imitating its cry? Quite remarkable. It seems I'm in the presence of a budding naturalist. Well, I shan't be outshone in my own field. The creature must be captured. I shall conduct an extensive search of the port, which is where I first saw the creature. Might I ask you to search the high ground, the residential district known as the Resplendent Quarter? I shall continue my search in the vicinity. Now that I think of it, the creature itself may have come here from foreign shores. Squeal! Ah! Vocal varmints. Squeal? The vocal varmint and its companion seem willing to follow you. Lead the pair back to the determined naturalist at High Tide Harbor. Small talk. Squeal. Squeal! Look at its face. Let's go. Quick, I know a shortcut. Determined naturalist. Brilliant. Simply brilliant. Not one, but two. I only spotted a single specimen earlier. Little did I think there'd be another lurking nearby. Vocal varmint. Squeal. 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 Determined naturalist. They both seem remarkably docile. What a marvelous stroke of luck to be reunited with my quarry so quickly. This rather vindicates my decision to travel all this way. You see, our professor recently absconded, leaving me and my fellow researchers vying for the newly vacated position. This is just what I need. If I can work this discovery into a paper, it will do wonders for my standing within the faculty, and put me one step closer to that tenured position. Suffice it to say, I'll be keeping a close eye on these two and tending to them with the utmost care. I can't wait to conduct a thorough study. Squeal, squeal. You're welcome. Quick and easy. Special orders, special deliveries. Pelu Pelu Peddler. The Pelu Pelu peddler has no clue how to navigate Tuliyollal. Ooh, I'm in a pickle. Can't exactly deliver the order if I'm lost. Oh, can I? Curse these twisting streets. You there, with your decidedly unflappable composure. You know your way around these streets, yes? Could you pay a visit to my customers and let them know I've brought their orders? Brilliant! Now, you'll be looking for 2 different houses in the Resplendent Quarter. The first has deep blue and yellow walls, with feathered decorations that hang from the eaves. The man who lives there is a very eloquent Hanu. The second is home to a rather voracious moblin. You're looking for sky blue walls with a yellow roof, a storehouse, and decorative vases out front. Remember, the Hanu's house has deep blue and yellow walls, and the Mobler's house has sky blue walls with a yellow roof. Just let them know I'm here, will you? Okay. Man, it's all happening in the Resplendent Quarter. Blue house, yellow. I mean, that's yellow. Aha! Voracious moblin. Wait, can you go in here? Can I go out here? Oh, I can. Voracious moblin. Ah, special order of mulled flour is here at last. Now I have all the ingredients to crafty bake loaves of rot bread. Haven't heard of mulled flour? Mixy blend of wheat and mycotoxins with a sweet stink smell. In Earthenshire, all breads and cookies are crafty baked with it. Essential elements of traditional mobby cuisine. Since stingy shopkeepers of Tuliyollal refused to stock it, my only option was to bulk buy with a Pelu goods bearer. Now to go and bring back my package. Many thanks to kind lowlander. You're welcome. Now, need another blue house. Deep blue. This is deep. Aha! What do you want, Linuali? I think I'm finally feeling brave enough to venture outside. Can't stay in here forever. I need to restock my food supplies. I didn't even know you could come in this building. I swear I tried. Eloquent Hanu. Dear me. You mean to say my package has arrived? I had some dried reeds imported from Akanu, you see. Ordered them as soon as I heard the crops had recovered. Though I may live in Tuliyollal now, I always keep my homeland close to heart. To a Hanu like myself, there is no greater comfort than the smell of reeds when I walk through the door. Speaking of which, I had better go fetch them, hadn't I? There are a few areas that could do with a bit of touching up. Didn't seem that eloquent. Pelu peddler. I see you managed to find them. Thanks to you, the packages have safely reached my customers' hands. Pause. Applause? In the meantime, I've been browsing Bayside Bevy. The shops here have all the most common daily necessities, along with a variety of goods from other far-flung corners of Tural. But Tuliyollal is a melting pot of cultures, with their own unique needs. And sometimes the limited selection here doesn't cut it. That's where we come in. As peddlers, we travel to those distant locales, buy their most sought-after goods, and deliver them to the residents here. For a price, mind. Speaking of travel, did you come here from Eorzea by chance? I've yet to venture out there for import goods, but one of these days I might just have to make the trip. Oh, and before I forget, your fee. Thank you. Fair is fair. Ooh. 4, 4. Alright. 8s. Let's do that one. Painter on the hill. Precocious Mamulja. Precocious. I can't remember what that word means. Precocious. Ah, yes. Of a child having developed certain abilities or inclinations at an earlier age than is usual or expected. Child wonder. The precocious Mamulja is looking for a grown-up she can trust. Hey, mister? Will you help me? Earlier today, I got a pretty painting of the city from a Shatona painter, and I showed it to my mom, and she really liked it. Then she sent me to deliver this fruit as a thank you gift. Now the painter isn't here anymore, and I don't know what to do. Could you help me look around? Yay! Okay, so painter was going to make one more picture, like this. Treasure hunts. Which means wherever we can see this view, that's where we'll find him. Let's go find that painter. The picture shows the rooftops and harbor from above. So it must have been taken from somewhere up high. Do you know why they call it the resplendent quarter? It's 'cause all the different colors of the houses look like the feathers of pretty birds. That's what my mom said. Aww. Right. Let's get this bread. Painter on the hill. Hey, are there any speech bubbles? No. Wait a minute. Alright, let's just go over here. Has to be within the bounds of the circle, the orange circle, I guess, right? So... here, Shatona. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. Where you at? Where you at? Alright, let's take one more look. See if we can't find any landscapes. Oh, okay, that's that middle part. There's the dock. Yeah, alright. It should be over here. Yeah, like right there. I have you now. Oh, it could be up there though. There's the house. Probably up there. Damn you, sneaky Shatona. Alright. Wait, is it this red building? Maybe that's the red building that's in the photo. There he is. That wasn't this red building, it was that one over there. Man, I'll walk right past you. Shatona Painter. Greetings, traveler. Oh, and I see you brought the little mamulja from earlier. Precocious mamulja. I was looking all over for you. My mom said to give you this as our thanks for the pretty painting. Shatona Painter. You came all this way just to thank me with a snack. You're far too kind, little one. It was little more than a doodle. I was rewarded enough by the smile on your face. I take it you're her chaperone, then? Thank you for looking out for her. This town has a special place in my heart. We Shatona are a long-lived people, and I have had the good fortune of watching the community sprout up from nothing. I used to think this country would never amount to much, but seeing all these vibrant cultures thriving alongside one another in harmony, I wish to immortalize its beauty with what talent yet remains to me. Precocious Mamulja. You must really love Tuliyollal, huh? Well, don't worry. Me and my mom are going to love your painting forever and ever and ever. Shatona Painter. Haha. It is an honor, little one. Now then, seeing as I've finished my current painting, I think it's time I found a new vista to admire. I hope to see you around, friends. Cool NPC. Precocious Mamulja. I never really thought about how pretty our town is. I feel like I learned something today. Thanks again for helping me find the painter, mister. I'm gonna take good care of this picture. That I will. But before you go, here, this is for you. Peace. Peace out, little one. Alright. Let's do this end. It's probably faster to just run there. Let's do this. After I get some water first. A trying breed. The savvy stable master's herd is missing an alpaca or two. Savvy stable master. Evray, isn't it? I've heard all about your affinity with the alpacas. My cousin works on the ranch at Wachumpelu. Hello. He was practically gushing. As it so happens, I have need of your talents. Some of the herd escaped during the attack on the city the other day. I managed to round most of them up, but we're still too short. They haven't been seen leaving via the gates, so I think it's safe to assume they're hiding somewhere within the city walls. So how about it? Can I ask you to round up those last two stragglers? Thank you. Oh, and I'm sure I don't need to tell you, but despite being trained as mounts, alpacas are easily rattled. If you come across our stragglers, make sure you soothe them first. Got that? No sudden movements. 2 missing alpacas should be here in the city. Try and find them. And remember to soothe them before you even think of making your approach. I wonder if they'll run away if you don't soothe them. And then you have to find them in a new spot. That would be quite irritating. Let's find out for science. Absconding alpaca. Spachoo! In your haste, you find yourself on the receiving end of a glistening gob of alpaca spit. Be sure to soothe the animal before you approach. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Calm down, Debbie. The suitably soothed animal makes its way nonchalantly back to the alpaca stables. Nonchalant. Savvy Stable Master. Thank you. The 2 stragglers arrived safe and sound a little while ago. I recognize that smell. Let me guess, you ignored my advice and got rewarded with a face full of alpaca spit. I hope you've learned your lesson. That stink will be with you for a few days yet. These alpacas are direct descendants of the mounts we Pelu Pelu presented as a sign of friendship when Tuliyollal was founded. I'm sure you've heard the tale of Kulul Jar catching a golden alpaca. Well, these creatures we gifted were sired by that shiny beast itself. To say they had quite the pedigree would be a gross undervaluation. And you can be sure that their legacy survives today. These beasts are fleet of foot and strong of limb, just like their ancestors. If you ever have need of a mount, you could do far worse than the Tuliyollal alpaca. Right, I should tend to the 2 that you so kindly brought back. I appreciate all the help. Cool. For whom the drum beats. The Landsguard drum major has lost track of one of his drummers. Landsguard drum major. Breathtaking, isn't it? I'd wager you'd be hard-pressed to find a more majestic drum anywhere. Alas, exposed as it is to the elements, it requires a lot of upkeep. Which is where we of the fife and drum corps come in. Speaking of which, what's taking him so long? Say, you strike me as the dependable sort. Might I trouble you to find our new recruit? He was tasked with handling today's inspection. Given how long it's taking him, it's possible he ran into trouble. But I'm supposed to be supervising things here. Check behind the tower and you should find him. My subordinate should be on the south side of the tower. Hopefully he hasn't run into any trouble. Fresh-faced drummer. Can I help you? Wait, the drum major sent you? Gods be good, I've wasted too much time. I've already finished checking the drum in the tower, mind you. But I just had to go and drop my tools. Now I can't find them. Will you help me look? I could really use a second pair of eyes right now. Please, will you help me look for my drum inspection kit? Must be around here somewhere. Sure. It's what I do best. Aha! What an interesting location. The hell? Let me click on it because it's a damn barrier. Any luck? Drum inspection kit contains myriad instruments with which to test or repair a drum's condition. Oh, I'm so glad you found them. You're a lifesaver, truly. If I dared to report back without them, the Major would have grilled me to a fine char. With that settled, I really must return to my other duties. I'd be most grateful if you could inform the Major on my behalf. Okay. Landsguard Drum Major. Here you are. I'm told you helped our recruit find the inspection kit after he dropped it. Your generosity means more to our community than you might realize. This drum is essential for the protection and well-being of our people. It not only marks the time of day, but also honors the Landsguard returning home from duty. And in times of crisis, it can be used to warn the populace of danger. That is why we must keep it in pristine condition at all times. But of course, our most common duty as the Fife and Drum Corps is to perform as a musical ensemble. It takes tremendous upper arm strength to beat a drum of this scale. And as a major, my job is to pound our greenest recruits into shape. Perhaps I've been slacking. Before I forget, take this. You've earned it. Thank you. For the pennies. Why mage? All right, it's up there. Ah, crap. Took that a long way around. How far he'll go. Tuliyollal needs you to track down his wayward trainee. Tuliyollal. Hey you! You're not busy, are you? Earlier we got word that a shipment of parts has come in, so I sent my trainee to fetch them. But he's still not back yet. Could I trouble you to pay a visit to the junkmonger in Bayside Bevy and ask if a young Petsaro has been by? I'm in the middle of something here. I'd go and speak with the junkmonger myself, but my hands are full. I'll even throw in a little something to make it worth your while. Yeah. Dirigible attendant. Now that things have settled down, we've made some improvements to our dirigibles. I can promise as smooth a ride to Yoktel as you've ever had. No. Bayside Bevy. Bayside Bevray. Junkmonger. The trainee mechanic from the dirigible landing? No, I'm afraid I haven't seen him today. Might be as he took the scenic route, as he's often wont to do. Seeing as you're looking for him, you may as well take the delivery along with you. Knowing Tuliyollal, he won't be satisfied until both are brought to him. As for where his young charge might be, I often see him on a pier at High Tide Harbor, gazing out at the sea. Like as not, you'll find him there now. I'd like to find a young Hitsaru around the High Tide Harbor, taking in the ocean view. As for the delivery, tell Tuliyollal we can discuss payment later. Okay. Trainee mechanic. Oh, sorry, I was lost in thought. How can I help you? Metal dirigible parts. Each piece was painstakingly sculpted to make the big flying balloons go whoosh. I meant to send you to find me? And you brought the parts we ordered? You've well and truly caught me slacking. Not to judge at a glance, but you're not from around here, are you? Would you happen to know anything about dirigibles? Far from it, I'm afraid. Somewhat versed, perhaps. I did build one, I suppose. I did? When? Sure, I did build one, I suppose. Apparently. Oh yeah, for the trade crafter dudes. Pixels? You've built one? Dear gods, I didn't realize I was in the presence of a certified expert. Please, you simply must tell me about it. I've only just started my apprenticeship, but my dream is to one day cross the sea in a balloon of my own making. Naturally, my first destination will be Old Charlian, where the great Kona learns so much of what he knows. Ah, what a journey it would be. Gah, there I go again. The moment my thoughts turn to daydreams, I'll find myself here at the harbor. But that's enough time wasted. I'd better take these parts back to the dirigible landing. Do 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 do. Puvulja, you're back. My trainee got here just ahead of you. Now, what's this I hear about the two of you having a heart-to-heart at the harbor? He wants to cross the sea in his own craft, eh? Good for him, I say. A boy his age ought to dream big. The technology the Second Promise brought home to Tuliyollal has sparked new ideas among the youth like nothing I've ever seen. Mark my words, they'll do great things for this country one day. Me, I've got my claws full keeping these dirigibles up and running, but the next generation has my support. Nothing would make me prouder than to watch them soar to ever greater heights. Ha! Great, now you've got me waxing all sentimental. Something in the fumes, perhaps. Take your reward and run along before I embarrass myself, would you? Hands. Our new Dawn servants are going to take this country to even greater heights. I can feel my hopes soaring already. Thanks for the pantalones. Where to? Ooh, map's looking pretty clean. Kalalja, guiding the lily. Kalalja seeks to introduce an all-new organization to Tural. You are one of Vau Wuklamat's entourage, yes. How fortuitous. I happen to have a small request for you. I understand that in Eosia, you have an organization called the Adventurers Guild. For some time now, the Wing of Reflection has been deliberating on whether to introduce a similar organization here. The issue is all the more pressing in light of recent events. If the city were to come under attack again, the Lance Guard alone may be unable to cope. But before we proceed, we wish to canvass the people of Tuliyollal. I hear that guilds are often based in locales where residents gather, taverns and eateries and such. I believe FFXIV is a close approximation. I would ask that you visit FFXIV to discuss the matter with Brook Evu and seek his permission to conduct a survey among the patrons. Pray speak with Brook Evu at FFXIV. Once you have his permission, you may begin to canvass some of the patrons. Rukevu. And you say this Adventurers Guild would look to assemble here at Tuliyollal. Well, we have been getting more foreign patrons of late, and they do seem to struggle when it comes to finding guides and swords for hire. I suppose this place would be ideal for putting travelers in touch with mercenaries and what have you. Still, you might have a hard time convincing the patrons that they'd benefit from this guild you speak of. Anyway, feel free to mingle. Just don't make it sound like the palace have already committed to the idea, okay? Jajte. So adventurers would set up shop here at Tuliyollal? Well, if it means us regular folk can find people willing to solve our problems, I'd be all for it. The Raljan never seemed to care much about our plight. You could plead all you liked, but the Landsguard would rarely get involved. Then again, we've already gotten the Wing of Protection and Wing of Reflection. We'd likely be better served getting the institutions we do have to play their part before we try anything else. I have nothing against the idea, but we already have institutions there to serve us when it comes to such matters. Bekolja. I'd be more than happy dealing with adventurers if they were all like you. But if the place was suddenly flooded with boorish sellswords, that's another thing entirely. I'm not looking to tar you all with the same brush, but you know how some of their ilk behave. Gazing out at the beach, sipping on a glass of something sweet and refreshing. That's what Tuliyollal is all about. May it never change. I can't bear the thought of a bunch of brutish mercenaries ruining the atmosphere here with their bad manners and loutish ways. Tonakwe. What need do we have for an organization like that? Wuklamat has our interests close at heart. Why, she's often in here, listening to our troubles. Besides, Rukavu already works hard to make Tuliyollal a welcoming place for all, foreign visitors included. It's a fine idea, but with Wuklamat on our side, we common folk have no need for this guild you speak of. Zero for 3. Ouch. Kalalja. Oops. You spoke with the patrons, yes? Thank you. What did the people of Tuliyollal have to say about the notion of an adventurers guild? I see. You say some patrons welcome the influx of people willing to aid them, but others were wary of welcoming unsavory characters to Tuliyollal. A rather more lukewarm response than I'd hoped for. It seems that first and foremost, there is room for improvement with our current institutions. Besides, the patrons sound rather attached to the Tuliyollal they know and love. I have no doubt that an adventurers guild would flourish here in Tural, if only the concept were more familiar. Nevertheless, I fear the time is not yet ripe for such discussions. Introducing the guild without the necessary groundwork would likely prove counterproductive. For the time being, my colleagues and I will continue our deliberations. Thank you for your assistance, adventurer. The Wing of Reflection must consider what it can do to support Tuliyollal in the coming years. I, for one, shall study the precedents of nations overseas, and help our Dawn servants forge their path. Impatient Landsguard, the many multitudes of Mamulja. The impatient Landsguard is expecting his partner to arrive any moment now. Ah, one of Wuklamat's companions. Say, could I trouble you to go and fetch someone for me? It's time for patrol, and my partner is nowhere to be seen. I'd handle it myself, but I could miss his arrival were I to leave my post. Knowing him, he's lost in conversation somewhere in Bright Plume Post. Just look for the Bunewa with the big eyes and dark blue scales. When you find him, tell him his partner is waiting for him. He must have forgotten it's time for our patrol. Remember, he's the Bunewa with big eyes and dark blue scales. You can't miss him. Let's go to the wrong guy. Meticulous Mamulja. No, I don't believe I have any work scheduled today. Mayhap you've mixed me up with someone else. Ah no, I am Hubigo. Bunewa don't have long combs like ours, you see. They're most commonly identified by the hue of their scales. Cool. I like the extra lore. It's just him, I'm guessing, right? Yeah. Menacing Mamulja. Patrol? Friend, I don't know who you've mistaken me for, but I just finished my shift. Do I look like some moon-eyed Bunewa to you? Clearly I'm a Dopro. Soz. Hey, maybe he's in the building. Better check that first. Aha! Well-mannered Mamulja. Ah, here we are. Patrol partner. Yes, I'm the one he's looking for. I don't know why he's always so needlessly punctual, but there are in fact still a few minutes before our shift. Then again, patience has never been his strong suit. In any case, thank you for letting me know. I suppose I'll head over early, just to be nice. La Falja. I hear you played no little part in resolving our troubles. On behalf of the Landsguard, I extend you our deepest thanks. Our commander's seat remains empty. As second in command, I will oversee Landsguard operations and work to ensure our people live in peace and prosperity. Cool. Mild-mannered Mamulja. My apologies for the trouble. Honestly, was he afraid that I died or something? Impatient Landsguard. Welcome back. My partner here let me know you sent him. Mild-mannered Mamulja. Didn't I see you talking to another Mamulja before you found me? I suppose we all look alike to you people from across the salt. Come on, man, I was doing it for the extra dialogue. But appearances aren't everything, of course. With our superior arcane ability, we of the Bunewa tribe are typically employed as mages or palace seers. As for the Ubigo, they are more likely to excel in feats of athleticism. The Topro, meanwhile, are renowned for their skill at beast handling. You can see one tending to a weaver right over there. Ah, Speaking of which, perhaps I should tell you about... over there. Impatiently asking, aye, that's enough. Sorry about him. My friend here can never remember when to hold his tongue. Thanks again for your help. We've wasted enough time here. Onwards to our patrol. Very good. Not long now. Oh. Her neck looks funny. Yeah, yeah, alright, fine, we'll do it. Once a Riddler, now a ruler. The nostalgic attendant is clutching a well-worn envelope, seemingly lost in reverie. I recognize you from the Third Promise's entourage. You have my wholehearted thanks for taking part in the rite of succession. I myself am an attendant to the Dawn's Promise. Yes, perhaps I can entrust this to you. The riddle inside that envelope was penned by the Second Promise himself. It's the first part of a treasure hunt he devised for his sister. As I recall, she managed to solve the initial riddle, but gave up soon after that. I gather the clues were a little too challenging. In time, we forgot all about it. Anyway, I was tidying my quarters the other day and stumbled across that envelope. The treasure should still lie here within the city. If you're keen for a bit of sport, perhaps you'd like to try and decipher the Second Promise's words? The first riddle I gave you will point you in the right direction. With any luck, the treasure should still be here in Tuliyollal. Refer to the first riddle for clues about the next location. I wonder if I can actually do this. This might be too hard. Might have to look up a guide. Let's see. Worn envelope. An old envelope entrusted to you by the nostalgic attendant. The first untidily scrawled clue to a Tuliyollal treasure hunt is contained within. Alright, let's have a look. First riddle. A great hall rests upon buried shells of old, where palm trees tower over sands gleaming gold. That's it. A great hall rests upon buried shells of old, where palm trees tower over sands gleaming gold. So what, near the beach maybe, because of the palm trees? There are palm trees over there too. Look. Ugh, what a pain. Alright, we'll come back to that. Or a great hole. What great hole, man? What do you mean? Decipher the first riddle and find the location hinted at therein. So what, the area is just gonna like have somewhere to interact? Where palm trees tower over sands gleaming gold. I'm going to try gleam sands. Alright, let's go have a look at the beach. Great hole. What great hole though? I mean, there's never any reason to come over here. Except maybe now. Can I even go down here? Oh, I can. I've never been down here. But I don't know anything about a great hole. Ooh, cool. Aw. Ah, Sag. Let's see if the journal has any more information. Nope. Alright. Great hole. Could you say this is a great hole? Ah! My detective skills are unparalleled. You have found the second riddle. Refer back to it as necessary to find the designated location. Excellent. Second riddle. Weathered planks creak, quietly guiding the way to a verdant bed of green, washed with sea spray. Weathered planks creak, quietly guiding the way to a verdant bed of green, washed with sea spray. Okay, so that sounds like the ports. But verdant green? Alright, let's just go look at the ports. Creek. Weathered planks creek, quietly guiding the way to a verdant bed of green, washed with sea spray. So somewhere close to the ports, I guess. It's green. Maybe up here. Maybe up there. Quietly guiding the way. Weathered planks creak. To a verdant bed of green, Sea spray. So it has to be close to the beach, to the water. Are they all in Tuliyollal? Better be. Weathered Planks Creek, quietly guiding the way to a verdant bed of green washed with sea spray. Maybe the verdant bed of green is Eorzea, and it's pointing back this way. Doubt. But might as well check while I'm here. Yeah. It was a long shot, to be sure. Weathered Planks Creek. Green washed with sea spray. Verdant bed of green. Alright, let's see. Gleam was in the name last time, so maybe there's more to this clue than meets the eye at first. Bed of green. Maybe the beds in this place are green. Or maybe there's... maybe that's a flower bed at the end there. What was that? How very odd. Hmm. Please be over here, please be over here, please be over here. Ooh! Genius! Alright. Look out. The forward cabins. Spanning the length of a pier, these pleasant cottages replaced the previous fleet of boats that once served visitors as rudimentary accommodations. It is said that a foreign explorer was responsible for naming the guest houses when he likened their roofs to ship prows and their cozy interiors to a captain's cabin. Very good. Gimme, gimme, gimme. You have found the final riddle. Yes. Final riddle. A thoroughfare worn smooth speaks of journeys come to end. Reason and resolve set in stone, with duty contend. Well, that sounds kind of easy, I think. Sounds pretty much just like the stone statue thingamajigs. I forget their names. The talisman things. somewhere around here. Thoroughfare warned speaks of journeys come to end, reason and resolve set in stone with duty contend. Yeah, reason and resolve was the last one we got. Yeah, there we go. See, easy. You have found a green imitation ring. Report your success to the nostalgic attendant at Ikwawaya Plaza. Ooh, a ring. Green imitation ring. A ring set with a green glass bead doing its very best imitation of a pricier piece of jewelry. Oh, you. Nostalgic attendant, welcome back. How did you fare? Ah, this brings back memories. Many moons ago, the second promise had me accompany him to Bayside Bevy. The thought of shopping alone seemed to unnerve him. Anyway, this is what he bought that day. He was incredibly fond of his sister. When she begged him to come up with this treasure hunt, he was more than happy to oblige. And now they support one another as they strive for their ideals on behalf of Tuliyollal's future. Yes, I dare say this nation is in safe hands. If I get the opportunity, I shall deliver this ring to the second promise. I can't help but wonder how he'd present it to his sister after all these years. And with that, I take my leave. Thank you for unearthing this slumbering treasure and the memories that came with it. Peace. Mulch ado about nothing. Tapipia is gazing lovingly at his precious crops. Well met, traveler. Couldn't help but notice you staring at my crops there. Dabble in a bit of sowing and growing yourself? How about running a quick errand for me? By way of thanks, I'll share some of the know-how we local farmers have cultivated over the years. Right, it all starts with compost, and that's where you come in. I need your help getting a hold of the makings that go into the mulch, and you can't go wrong with alpaca manure. No need to look so worried. I'll get the dung delivered from the alpaca stables later. What I want you to do is go around and collect vegetable scraps for me. I've got an arrangement with some of the eateries here in Tuliyollal, you see. I need you to pay a visit to Tuliyollal and Auntie's Tacos. Think you can do that for me? Tuliyollal and Auntie's Tacos. That's where my scraps are waiting. You up to the task? Yes. Yes, I am. Ugh. Quite the distance to travel, though. Ooh, shortcut. Huh. Ooh. T-Soldier. The Pipya's after his vegetable scraps, is he? Say no more. To make a decent taco, you can't cut corners when it comes to meat and spices. But vegetables are just as vital. Mine are packed full of the best produce you can get, and all of it grown by Tapipia himself. We business owners have to look out for one another after all. For a tasty taco, vegetables are just as important as meat and spices, which is why dealing with Tapipia is such a delight. He supplies me with the best fresh produce. Yeah. Thank God for cap closes. Jabal kitchen hand. Did Tapipia send you? I made sure to set aside all the scraps and peelings you need. They're yours for the taking. Of course, there's plenty of traders selling vegetables at Bayside Bevy, but being able to source our produce straight from the seafoam fields is a real boon for us. Doesn't come much fresher than that, I tell you. Like I said, there's plenty of folks selling vegetables at Bayside Bevy, but you simply can't beat fresh, locally grown produce. Beat you in a minute. Just kidding. I would never. Wait a minute, how far do I have to loop? Oh, so far away. Ooh. Terrible. Tapipia. Oh, back with my scraps, are you? Variegated vegetable scraps. A portion of colorful vegetable peelings from one of Tuliyollal's eateries, now destined for the compost heap. Much obliged. Now, with a little heat and time, these odds and ends will make a fine compost. But that's not all they're good for. Spread them straight onto the soil, and they make for a decent fertilizer in a pinch. That's what folks used to do in the olden days anyhow. But then the head of reason and his companions got to putting their knowledge of plants and whatnot to use, sowing the seeds of the composting techniques we use today. I named this farm Seafoam Fields for good reason. That salty ocean air brings with it plenty of minerals, which helps the plants thrive. All it takes beyond that is a bit of compost to bring out the best in the soil. With all these scraps, I should be set for a good while. Appreciate the help, traveler. For what it's worth, I hope you learned a thing or two from all my prattling on. Now that the crisis has been settled, it's time I saw to the harvest. It's a miracle any of our vegetables made it through that attack unscathed. Yeah. All right. Corn quest. I mean, this should be easy enough, right? Hopefully it's literally just talk to NPC. Hope I don't have to craft anything. Disciple of land or hand. Alright, we'll do the corn one and then we'll come back. Just in case I need to do the whole bunch of crafting crap. God, I hope not. Alright, corn. Corn of necessity. You happen upon a curious cob of corn that almost seems alive. The rustling of this corn sounds not unlike a dejected sigh, and you could swear it is looking out at the ocean. Curious corn. Oh, woe is me. What's the matter? Are you all right? What's the matter? You can see me? Oh, blessed be. For countless ages have I watched over these lands. When man first tilled her soil, I was there. When they partook of her bounty, I was there. A silent guardian of the harvest, my presence unmistakable. Yet the passage of time would bring change to the people. They began to forget the old ways. Forget me. I traveled the lands hither and yon, yet no matter where I went, I remained unseen and unheard. I feared before long I might shuck this nigh immortal cob. Yet here, at the last, I have found a kindly soul, able and willing to lend me an ear. But will he lend me a hand as well, I wonder? I wish to help the people of Tuliyollal, fill their hearts and bellies both, lest their hunger invite terrible misfortune. All that are born into this world are deserving of happiness. Would you not agree? So let them eat, I say. Eat corn and be merry. Alas, I cannot reach them in my diminished state, but you can. And so I shall bequeath unto you the most delectable corn dishes, which are to then be distributed to the masses. What say you? Such selflessness, such compassion. How long has it been since last I met a soul so grossly incandescent? I am but a humble stalk, basking in the warmth of your generous heart. Well, my friend, let us be off. The curious corn spirit has elected to be referred to as the corn servant. Speak with them again when you are ready to spread corn and happiness to the masses. I'm always ready. Goodness, how long has it been since last man has partaken of my corn, I can hardly wait. The hungry bellies of Tuliyollal cry out for satiation. Let us sally forth. This is hardly the idle time for chatter, my friend. We have bellies to fill. What a weird quest. Hungry youth. Oh, what am I to do now? I'm like to starve at this rate. Corn servant. What is this rustle? His belly. It speaks to me. I bid you offer him this grilled corn, seared to perfection, with the hope that it yet burns in my corny bosom. Wait, with the hope that yet burns. Roger. Hungry youth. Is that grilled corn? For me? That's awfully kind of you. I'm new to Tuliyollal, and it's been pretty hard. Harder since I lost my job. I've been so hungry lately I can barely think straight. But the smell of this corn with its smoky, sweet aroma has brightened my day. I can hardly wait to eat it. Feels like maybe my luck is starting to turn around. Thank you, sir. I won't forget this. Nice. Corn servant. Hungry woman. Oh, perhaps I'll simply skip dinner today. Corn servant. A belly and heart both in dire need of nourishment. Here, take of my cob. Let its earthy scent and savory flavors offer her comfort. There you go. Hungry woman. Grilled corn? My husband loved grilled corn. Life simply isn't the same without him. One moment I think I'm fine, then suddenly I find myself brought to tears. Even eating has been a struggle. But I know he wouldn't want me to mourn him. Thank you for this. I'll try to do better, for his sake and mine. Another job well done, Mr. Corn Servant. Hungry Mamulja. I'm so hungry, but I have no money. May the gods forgive me for what I'm about to do. Do you hear that, friend? His belly weeps from hunger. Pray offer him this corn. Let its smoky sweetness give him comfort and deliver him from foul temptation. Hungry Mamulja. Is this grilled corn for me? Truly? My stomach has been in knots for days. Thank you. It shames me to admit it, but I tried my hand at gambling and lost everything. I was so desperate for food. I was tempted to do terrible, terrible things. This corn has filled my aching stomach and helped to clear my head. Oh, what a fool I've been. It's time I start over and get my life together. Corn servant. The rumbling of bellies in need has ceased. Come, let us find a quiet place to speak. Full glad am I to have helped the people of Tuliyollal. Indeed, my kernels swelled with joy at the sight of their happy and content faces. And you, friend, your kindness cannot go unrewarded. Meet me at the gate over yonder, and I will see you duly compensated for your trouble. There you are. I hope our little excursion was as fulfilling for you as it was for me. It is a terrible thing to be hungry. Unattended bellies are quick to fill themselves with pain and anguish, feelings that will lead the hearts astray. Thanks to you, my corn has sated the hunger that would otherwise invite misery to this place. From the bottom of my cob, I thank you. Pray, take of my corn. May these kernels keep your belly full and spirits lifted. Now I really must be going. While the people of Tuliyollal may be content, there are other hungry souls out there in need of nourishment. Until we meet again. Cool. I hope that's a chain quest. I want to meet the corn servant again. Corn servant's much better than the dawn servant. Oh. Alright. Final quest. Yay. Let's go with Alchemist. Rot in Wachu Meki Meki. Ropley hopes you are the artisan he's been looking for. Ropley. Well, if it isn't Evray. Forgive me, but I couldn't help but notice the tools you're carrying on your person. You wouldn't happen to be a skilled tradesman, would you? As I mentioned when you visited alongside the Third Promise, Wachu Meki Meki is in dire need of skilled artisans, like Fon Jonten. A number of our shops are beset with problems large and small, you see, and having the assistance of one such as you would be most welcome. Of course, a service rendered is a service paid for, and we've plenty of scripts with which we can fill your pockets. Procuring supplies from the open seas has brought no small number into my possession, and I understand the currency is also used extensively across the salt. With that said, I'd like to first introduce you to the folks you'll be working with. You needn't decide right away, of course. Take your time to consider my offer, and come speak with me again once you've made up your mind. My mind's made up. Come to take up my offer, I see. Just one last thing before we go. In the language of my people, Wachu Meki Meki means House of Countless Beads. I see the market as a home where folks of all kinds may come, connect, and carve out a niche for themselves. Please bear this in mind, as you may encounter things to which you're not accustomed. Now then, off we go. Uh-oh, too many characters to voice. Good. That's nearly everyone. I thought it best if they were aware of who you are before you show up on their doorstep offering your services. Let's go in order, shall we? Starting with Shral Zoj Metalwares. Shral Zoj deals in all things metal, particularly when it comes to daily necessities. Unfortunately, she's been recently confronted with an issue that's put her very reputation at stake. She seeks a metalworker that understands the importance of punctuality. Next, we have Epistles by Pameka, whose eponymous owner pens official documents, transcribes letters for those who cannot do so themselves, and more. She's presently in need of one skilled in treating parchment, textiles, leather, and the like. Zirolja Juicecraft serves some of the most unique beverages I dare say one will ever encounter. It's just a shame no one's lining up to drink them. If you've any expertise with the culinary arts or alchemy, I would love for you to assist her in revitalizing her shop. Fish Fancy's Donuhanu is a bit of an eccentric establishment. You see, Donuhanu deals in fish that he fancies. Unfortunately for him, his tastes are a touch too unconventional for your average customer, and his anxious sales may not pick up. As for Shunyi's apothecary, I regret to say that its owner was unable to spare even a moment for introductions. That said, if you fancy yourself a miner or gatherer, you'll undoubtedly find his wares of great interest. Shunyi deals in all sorts of curious flora and minerals, you see. Alas, his sole employee appears to be in poor shape, and I grow more worried about the store by the day. Bruh, he's so old. No wonder. I believe that covers everything, more or less. It is my wish that both customers and shop owners feel mutual satisfaction with their transactions in the market. That this house of countless beads may shine more brilliantly than ever. With your help, I believe that wish will come true. I look forward to seeing what you accomplish, Evray. You may now undertake Wachumeki deliveries. Aha. Oh no, a whole new batch of side quests. Ugh, look at them all. Oh, these are like the role quests. Blame it on my juice. Well, I won't include those in this batch of side quests. I'll do that separately. Because they're like to have their own long sequences of events and cutscenes and whatnot. Not to mention I need to sort out what's going on with crafters' skills and whatnot. Cool. Is that everything? Can I still not buy level 12 and 11 materia for crafters and gatherers? I still cannot. Well, that's everything in terms of side quests, though. For Tuliyollal. Perfect. Well, that was fun. GG's. And goodbye for now. Thank you for watching.